Okay, so there's huge commotion happening because they started a family meeting over there when I was going live. But I figured I'm going live because it's time to go live with the Q&A, live, and today we're actually giving away a dice tracker. So just to jump in right now, I got this back here. The dog wants a ball, and somebody need to get the dog the ball. It's too far back. And use the broom or something. Get the dog out of here. All right. I want to show you holyroller.com because that is where you can find. Are you ready for this? That's where you can find the way to get a dice tracker. Oh, you decided to throw what the dog wants over here. This is sabotage by the family. Oh, was it a die? Found a die. All right. Okay, well, hey, will get better, promise. This is the dice tracker. I do have a video about that if you haven't heard about the dice tracker. What's up, Gary? Gary's in the house. Let us know if you're here on the comments and it'll pop up and I can see something. But I'm actually going to go over the questions that came in on a video I did about 2 weeks ago that talked about my next question and answer, my next Q&A. Whoever came up with the best Q&A or question, and I was going to pick a winner to win one of these. Tyson's in the house. You got mine already ready for your next cruise with your dice tracker, Tyson. That is awesome. And you can use another one because if you commented a question on the last video I did, we're going to be going over those questions, and I haven't seen them at all. There was one that popped up, and I thought it was funny, but I didn't really I was like, wait, I better wait until the live to actually read them. But then, so right here, you can get your dice tracker right there. But then there's a video about the cruise. Have you heard about the cruise? We're giving away a cruise for $50. Cruise for two, 5-night cruise for $50. We're doing a fundraiser and a raffle. What's up? Ryan is in the house. Ryan says, what's up, Brian? And so we're giving away $50 entry, and we're doing a fundraiser for a full-size craps table for the channel. And we're getting so close, and so we figure, why not give away a cruise to people, and they can put $50 towards fundraising for the craps table, but also get on a cruise with us. And this cruise is, and that's Tim. I'm gonna read that in just a second. The cruise for $50 for two people, that's even less expensive than trying to win a cruise yourself because you have to pay taxes and port fees. That $50 includes taxes and port fees and the cruise fare. You just have to get there and then take care of gratuities and all the extra stuff. But there is a video on holyroller.com that explains everything. But right there, if you hit it, now this is sponsored by our parent business, J-Line, the J-Line Network. And so J-Line is sponsoring this cruise to get us to get a full-size craps table for the channel. It's gonna be awesome. You can also get some merch if you haven't. See, look at, there it is. I'm wearing this one right here. And so you can shop some merch there. And then also for our channel members, I have a video coming out tomorrow just inviting people to become a channel member. Thank you so much for the channel members that are here and that support us, because a lot of our videos, unfortunately, when we're on the cruise, get demonetized because of the music playing in the background. So we don't really make any money on those. But we do make money like this on Super Chats. Tim gave us Super Chat saying thank you. And I'm gonna read that comment in just a second. But you can also learn how to become a member of the channel. And then we have some of our early channel comments that were right here. Jax says, hello, Brian. All right, so let me just say, go to holyroller.com. That's where you can find anything. And I just wanted to say this, kind of a public service announcement. Anything that we do, raising money, asking for anything, is through the website and the video. I will never comment saying, hey, give me your info, I want to send you some money, or Venmo me, or whatever. And my email is brian@holyroller.com, BRIAN@holyroller.com. So if things don't come from that email or from the video, you know it's a scam. I'm just saying that right now. So I know, because people are like, what? Brian's raising money? Is it really him? Yes, it is me. It is me. But let's read this super chat for $20 from Tim. Thank you so much. And it is this. And Tim is a member. Brian, I have to thank you for showing me how to win free cruises. I went on the Liberty of the Sea June 1 through 6. Since then, I've been given 6 free cruises. Amazing. Thank you. And thank you for the $20. If you would have added 30 to it and then went up, I guess you don't really need another free cruise. And as a member of the channel, you get all of our cruise dates. So with this video that's on the holyroller.com, you know the date we're going to be there. So most people that were members, they already knew that date was on the docket. They probably booked it already so they could be cruising and rolling on a craps table with us, you know. And so this one we're actually giving away for somebody else to come, and it will be maybe a member, maybe somebody that's just giving, you know, and it's sponsored by J-Line, so the receipt will come from J-Line, just so you know. And that's J-Line or J-L-I-N-E. All right, and that's on the, and it's given all secure through Square and Square Up, and so it's all secure. We don't save any information or anything like that. So anyway, with all that being said, let's get into the prize or the giveaway for today. For this video, we're giving away a dice tracker. Okay, we're not giving away a cruise. Let's start. You can't go on a cruise without a dice tracker. You need the dice tracker. Oh, you're at dinner. I wish I could hear you. Okay, so I need to be more animated for Gary. Gary. So you need the dice tracker first. So that's what we're gonna give away. I have the laptop here. Let me take and look at these questions that came in. But can I answer one question that nobody asked? Because it wasn't about that, but it is this. Oh, Tim already has one of these too. But you can always use the second, because sooner or later you're gonna get, it has about enough to track about 36 different sessions, okay? And so on a cruise, it'd probably be like 5 cruises. So you already have 6. You're gonna need one more for the 6th cruise. You know what I'm saying? Maybe you'll win it, Tim. But the question I want to answer that nobody knows about is, a lot of people have been noticing, wow, did cruise prices go up recently? Because every time I go to the website, it's way higher than it used to be. Well, let me go over there and show you something here. Whenever you're on RoyalCaribbean.com, and I'm not sponsored by Royal Caribbean, by the way, I'm gonna be expanding to other cruise lines in the future. I just wanna let you know, but sometimes people think I'm like sponsored by Royal Caribbean or Royal Caribbean gives me anything. The only thing they give me is free cruises that I earn, but I have to earn them, you know what I mean? And I get a lot of free play. So, but that's not because of my channel, that's because anybody could do it. And that's why Tim just said he did it, and I showed him how to do it. And I showed a lot of people how to do it just by watching the channel, okay? So this thing is, there was a new law passed, okay? I don't know if you can see that up there in the corner, but it says no surprises. Jax, I hope to get on a cruise with you someday soon. There's $9.99 super chat, and the first super chat, everybody give that super chat a thumbs up and a like and a heart if you have it. And same thing with Tim's. That's awesome. Thank you so much, everyone, for your support. So let's talk about this no surprises, okay? Up on the site, it says no surprises. Now before, when I used to say, oh yeah, you know, the cruise is about a $2,000 cruise, and everybody's like, no, it's not, because I went over and I saw you know, it was $4.99. It's $4.99 for 2 people, and $4.99 plus 2 is $1,000, not $2,000. And then they click, and it's like, do you want to choose your room? Do you want, you know, taxes and port fees? And then before you knew it, it was $2,000. So California actually passed a law where you have to say the price is the price. You can't have a bunch of add-ons. And so what Royal Caribbean did is they said, you know, I know it's for California, but let's just do it for everywhere. And so they changed their pricing to include everything. So that makes it a little bit harder for us to find out what's the taxes and port fees. You can always just call and ask what the taxes and port fees are, but you can go into a cruise. So like this is the Star of the Sea. This is really expensive, but it's not anything more than that. If you take 2 people, and you're gonna have to take 2 people or pay for 2 people, even if you go solo, it is $1,705 times 2, and you'll be on the cruise, you know, and so there's not that extra cost. Now, of course, there's excursions and gratuities and all that. And gratuities are $18 a day per person, by the way. So all of that being said, there could be some added stuff, but to get on the cruise, there it is right there. No questions, no surprises. That's the way it is. Now, all you do is you go through, pick the cruise that you want to go on and that you have on an offer, for example, pick it, go through it, and then go to the payment part, and it'll say this is what it costs. And the reason why I like that is because then I know how much value am I getting off of my free cruise. And when you see the cost breakdown, it will say taxes and port fees, and you just have to divide that by 2, or just take that as, okay, $250 it's gonna cost for this $2,000 cruise. So basically, this is like I said, a question nobody asked, but no more surprises on the cruise, you know, the cruise prices. So that's gonna be very, very great. So I'll do another video in the future just showing how to find out and what your free cruise value is, okay? All right, but now, drum roll please, because where were we? We're right here. These are the comments and these are the questions that we'll be getting to right now. But first, let's see what Robert has to say. I want to ask about your 4th of July live session. Your bankroll was 3,000? No, it was 1,200. And would you have played differently on a ship? I'm trying to learn the strategy. Yeah, so on 4th of July, I just put on some, you know, music that I have a playlist that I listen to around 4th of July area. So it's a very patriotic America kind of music. And it was just music and dice. And I was just throwing dice. And I had to delete that video because of the copyright. They kept giving me strikes over and over on the channel. And they're like, if you keep this video up, you will be demonetized. And I'm like, delete. So I had to delete that video. But I tried to play it pretty close to how I'd play it on a cruise. And I have some videos coming out next week because I have some $500 worth of free play on my next 3 cruises. And so I'm gonna be practicing playing with $500 worth of free play and $500 of my own money. And so that's a $1,000 bankroll. And so I'll show you how we do that in a couple videos coming up. I might even do a live on one. Just the lives are a little bit longer, but it gives you the idea of the flow and how I would play. So watch that video coming up if you would, Robert. I'll do a live maybe next week or maybe even this week. I don't know. All right. My wife and I will be cruising with you and Amber. I know. Is this a surprise, Claude, for your wife, or does your wife know? Because my wife knows, and I was like, whoops, I could have surprised her too, but I accidentally let it slip. Did you let it slip? Does your wife know she's going to be on a cruise with us? Let me know, Claude. From Cowboy Valley and Timberline Junction Railroad YouTube channel, and a member of our channel here, So, okay, Tyson says, I was wondering why it was gone. Yep. You were giving me mad stress playing that video. Keep shooting. And yeah, okay. Keep shouting at you to collect. I was just keeping all my money out there, and then the 7 would come, and man, I would break even on that roll. But man, it was fun. It was fun. I just did it, and I wasn't talking. I was letting the music just play, and I was just playing, and somebody's watching, going crazy. I knew I was kind of going crazy myself. I'm surprised I didn't break the stick a couple times. But okay, let's get into this. I'll follow along with this if you have any chats live here today. But let's look at these questions. And I did a Q&A video, and I said, hey, give me your questions. I'm going to be talking about them during the next Q&A. And then I'm also going to be giving away a dice tracker to one of these people. And you might say, are you going to do the spin the wheel thing? Now, when we do give away our free cruise, we are going to do the spin the wheel thing. So you'll be able to see a wheel, and it will spin, and it will choose the winner of the cruise on August 15th. That's going to be coming up, so make sure to get your entry in for the free cruise. But with this one, I'm just going to go down, and I'm going to just pick somebody. And I haven't read these, so I should get Amber in here to help me read these. And that way I can interact with you, and she can, she could just read them to me. But let's see, is there bubble craps on a cruise ship? If so, how are points calculated on the bubble craps, like on Royal Caribbean Cruise Line or RCL? Okay, no bubble craps. There's no bubble craps on any Royal Caribbean ships that I've been on, including the ones that don't have craps tables. There are a few. I think there's 2. I think the Spectrum doesn't have a craps table, and I think the Rhapsody does not have a craps table. So those ones I've heard that don't have a craps table, but they don't have bubble craps either. There was the Voyager a long time ago. There's this Voyager tour of the casino that somebody did, and it didn't have craps table, and they had bubble craps on the ship. And I'm like, whoa, this is strange. But about 2 weeks before I went on the Voyager, I asked some forum and trying to find out, is anybody on Voyager right now? Do they have a craps table? And somebody sent me a picture that yes, Voyager had a craps table. So yeah, I haven't figured out what the number of entries, Jax. The question is, am I going to stop the number of entries when it gets to a certain amount, or a certain number of entries? I'm kind of not looking at entries. I'm looking at money raised. Okay, I'm looking at money raised because we're trying to raise $3,000 total. We already have about 500, so 2,500. So if you could think $50, $2,500 divided by 50, somewhere right around there. I don't know. Tell me what that would be in the comments, and maybe we'll cut it off at that many. I don't know. Is that not good odds? I don't know. Right now, I think there's great odds, but we still have over a month to go before the drawing, okay? And people are hearing about it right now. So I think we got a couple entries today. All right. So that was from Richard, bubble craps, no bubble craps. All right, here we go from Ed. How many times do you allow yourself to lose on the come out roll before you stop betting the same bet? What do you switch to? Do you go from the DP to the pass line, or from the don't pass to the pass line? Or do you just wait for a point? Then what type of bets do you do? Well, what I do is there's two times. So the way it works on the Light in the Darkness is you're on the don't pass, and a 7-11 come out loses, okay? Now, if I lose twice in a row, I don't go back. I let a point get established, then I go through the DC, or the don't come, and then let that travel behind, and then I start playing. Then, if that's there and it stays there, a come out 7 would actually win that bet. So that's called the Batman version, going through the DC, all right? Batman version. So DC, like DC Comics, okay. Batman version. Or the Vigilante version. Oh my gosh, I lost 2 times in a row. I'm not losing 3 times in a row. All right, the other way that I do is if I can get past the first one, and usually I have profit after the first shooter, all I need is $40 worth of profit for the first shooter, and then I will hedge the 7-Eleven on the come out with the profit that I made from my first shooter. And as long as I'm up in my bankroll, I will either hedge or I don't really. So like say if I was doing 150 on the DP and I was $150 up, then I would, hey, what's up, Dexter? Dexter's in the house, says, hey, Brian. If I was $150 up in my bankroll and I lost 150 on a come out, I wouldn't even count that one. That wouldn't even count as one. I would then put 150 back up on the line, knowing that I lost all my profit, right? If it comes out again and I lose that, then I would go through the DC, right? Does that make sense? I don't do two in a row because I mean you probably have seen sometimes there's more there's 3 or 4 7s or 11s in a row on a come out. What I want to do this is what I'm going to practice next week. I'm going to practice actually making sure that a 7-Eleven doesn't just cover, but a 7-Eleven will be profitable. So it will cover the DP, but also cover the bets plus a little bit more. So I'm gonna put a little bit more out there on the hop the 7 and 11, so that if the 7-Eleven hit, it's like, yeah, like the other thing I thought about is if I do hop the 7-Eleven and then put the same amount in the field, then only the 5, 6, and 8 would actually lose the hedge money and the field money. But if anything else rolls, the field would pay for the hedge. So that's kind of something I'm working on. You'll see it in a video coming up soon. Too much information? Maybe. All right, let's go. So let's talk about, okay, we got should a old dice dog assist a newbie Virgin Craps player when at the table? Well, there's different things that people say. Only give people advice when they ask. That's what some people would say. Sometimes if there's somebody that's new that doesn't know what's happening and they're talking to you and you're like focused, I've said to people, hey, I'd love to share with you. Let me get through this roll and then I'll take a roll off and then I'll show you what's happening. Because I do need to concentrate on every roll that's happening, and I let them know. And then the next roll I will take off, and if they ask me. Now, should somebody that knows how to play the game give some tips and pointers to somebody that doesn't? It depends on, I do it a lot basically because people are like, hey, what do I do? And the dealers, they're busy with other people. Hey, Emmanuel, what's up? Emmanuel's in the house with the 140. Come up with the 140 on the DP. Sorry. Anyway, if you know, you know. You know what I'm saying? So a modified version of the Light in the Darkness that I actually love, but I went to 150. Okay? But should an like somebody that knows craps teach somebody at the table that doesn't know craps? I would say, yeah, that's totally fine. The worst part is when you have somebody at the table teaching somebody that's actually, there's two worst things, okay? I'm going to just tell you. Somebody at the table teaching somebody that doesn't know craps, but they're teaching them wrong. That is like, oh my gosh, if I had hair, I would pull it out. Do you know what I'm saying? I'm like, why are you teaching them wrong? Sometimes I'm like, no, that's not actually true. Because I just can't stand it. Because they're like, well, what they do is they have to roll the dice until they get their number. See how it says on 6? They have to roll that until they get a 6 or until they get a 7. I'm like, oh my gosh, don't say that word when the puck is on. It's just, I think that's the biggest thing, two of the biggest things. Teaching people wrong and then saying the word 7 over and over and over. And they're like, so we don't want to roll a 7? Oh, there, it just happened. It's like, no, 7-Eleven is good on the come out, and they're trying to teach. Oh my gosh. This is probably my biggest pet peeve. I'm fine. I won't freak out with the word 7, but I do freak out. And I don't know why. It just kind of irks me a little bit when people say, they have to roll a 6, the point is 6. See how it says on? So that means they have to roll a 6 before they crap out. And I'm like, no, if they crap out, they still roll. And they're like, what? No. Okay, don't listen to that guy. I'm like, You know, crapping out is when you roll a 2, 3, or 12 when the puck is off. That's what a crap out is. You mean the other one. You mean the point blank out, the one that we don't like to talk about when the puck is on. And then when the puck goes off, then I'll follow up with them. I'm like, see, that was called a .7 out, not a crap out, you know? So anyway, if you want to get the crap, I'm just playing. I just can't stand somebody saying crap out when they're talking about a .7 out or a 7 out, you know? A 7 out is not a crap out. Okay, see, is it hot in here? I hope that answered that question. All right, if you play the don't pass, don't come strategy on a cruise, yeah, I know you won't make friends. What is the ideal bankroll while on a cruise to maximize points? Okay, Monkey Love, travel. That's a good question. Okay, good question. It depends on if you're playing odds or not, or lay odds, because when you play the don't, you have to lay down more, like the payout's opposite. So for example, if you pay, you know, like if you play on a 5, for example, 25 pays 35. You'd have to put down 35 to win 25. Like it's the opposite. So you have to put down more money. However, if you're ever playing craps on a cruise, whether you're playing the DC, DP, pass line, come bet, any kind of odds, do not play odds on a cruise. And the reason why is 2 reasons. Number one, they only do single odds, so it doesn't really pay off. The other reason is that they don't give points for it. So you put down $20 and $20 and you're getting rated, so you have $40 on the table, you're only getting rated for 20. So odds never count for comps. So number one is never play odds if you're playing on a cruise. Just play flat. And some people say it doesn't make sense to play flat. Okay, perfect. That's what I'm talking about, especially on the pass line, right? Okay, this question is getting me riled up. Man, is this rant time? Is this rant question time? But the other part of the question says you won't make friends. I think if people know craps and you're on the don't, they would know that you know how to play craps. Now, there's a certain thing. If you're playing the don't and you're only playing the don't and you're not playing box numbers and you're only playing the don't and you're sitting there waiting for a 7 or just, you know, like definitely stacking up, you know, you're at the end, you know, like over at the end where the dice are landing and all your money is stacked up and you're playing odds and all that. That's why you don't make friends, is because you're creating all kinds of landmines, a wall, a barrier for the dice, and chances are they're going to hit your chips and they're going to, it's going to 7 out, whatever. And that's why people don't like you. And because they like, oh, this person, they don't want us to win, they want the 7. No, everybody's there to win, okay? So people that, when it says you don't make friends if you play the don't, those people don't know how to play craps because the most probable number is 7. So if you can get past that come out roll, 7-11, then you're at the advantage. And every other casino game in the entire casino, whether it's blackjack or whatever, especially like blackjack, what is blackjack? They say, hey, you want to hit here because the rules say to hit, or the odds are that you hit because the dealer will bust. Everybody always plays the odds, but with craps, it's not like that. So I find that kind of interesting that with every other game, you're looking for the best odds, but in craps, they actually changed the concept of odds and made it play the odds behind the pass line so that you can get the lowest house edge. Oh my gosh. Playing the odds at craps is making sure to play the 7, okay? Now, I'm not saying only play the 7. I love a good, in fact, the Light in the Darkness is a modified 6, 7, 8 strategy, which is 16 ways of the dice, 16 combinations out of 36. So, all right, let's see what Manuel says here. Oh, I made friends on my cruise when I showed up and said Darth Vader is back. Oh yeah, please hit the like button, everyone. All right, let's see. I'm going on a carnival in October, Jubilee. I'm gonna try to get the try the casino wizard machine. Any experience on video craps points? Nope, nope, not on Carnival. I've never been on Carnival. I have been on Princess, but I didn't go to the casino on Princess. But I do have a friend that has been on Princess and Carnival. But the one that's on Princess, he told me everything there is to know about getting a free cruise on Princess. So I'm gonna try to do that when I expand. And again, my expansion is going from Royal Caribbean. I'm trying to get on every ship. And then I will go on Celebrity, and then after Celebrity, I'll probably do Carnival and the Carnival Princess duo, you know, get over there. And then I might try the other ones after that, but let's see. But I just heard, and I just posted in our Facebook group, if you're part of our Facebook group, the Holy Roller Cruising Club. It's a public group on Facebook, Holy Roller Cruising Club. I just posted that a friend of mine's on a Celebrity ship right now, and he posted the point system on how to win a free cruise or earn a free cruise on Celebrity. And it's very similar. They've been talking about it for over a year now, and Celebrity finally put out something that's very similar where you know exactly what you have to do to earn a free cruise. Very excited about that. But so to maximize, sorry, let me go back to this one right here from Monkey Love Travel about what is the ideal bankroll, okay? It depends on how you want to do it. I would say a good bankroll is always whatever the cruise cost. So say you're trying to win a $2,000 cruise, then take $2,000. But always think about 10 times your playing, your average bet. Whatever you're gonna bet, if you're gonna bet $100, then you want 10 shooters or 10 sevens. I always play sevens instead of shooters, but play 10 sevens. So you're gonna need 10 times 100, which is 1,000. So, and I don't really count if I'm 100 on the DP and 100 out on the box numbers. I get a $200 average bet, but I don't count that as 200. I count that as 100 as far as for my bankroll. So I would put a DP for 100 and box numbers for 100, but I would still only count that as $1,000 for 10 shooters. All right. So with all that being said, it looks like there's a party over here again. They're trying to be quiet, by the way, but good thing I have the mic. It's not that bad. I think. But okay, let's talk about the best position at the dice table to shoot from. What's the best dice setup per number? I don't have any dice. Hey, can somebody go grab me some dice real quick?
I gave you one.
Oh my gosh. All right, so let's talk about that. Let's talk about the best position to throw from. It depends on how and where you feel the most comfortable. Like for me, if I'm on the stick, so the stick left, meaning if the stick is facing this way and the guy has the stick, I like to be on this side of him, okay, the left side of the stick. Because I like to take my dice and throw them like this. I throw them underhand and I throw them right-handed this way. Now, if I was on the other side, because I'm right-handed, I wouldn't throw them this way. I have before, thank you very much. I have thrown them this way, but I found, and I've actually tried to throw them left-handed from this side, so do the same thing, just left-handed and right-handed, and I didn't like that. My most comfortable spot is either number one, what's called stick left 1 or stick left 2. Because I don't want them to fly too far, because I like the dice to try to stay together in the air until they hit. And the farther away I have to throw, the further apart they get and they don't really stick together. So with all that being said, for me, I like it stick left 1 or as close to the wall as possible. The same thing on the other side, closest to the wall as possible. But some people, it doesn't matter where they shoot from. I think that's really cool. But a lot of times they're not dice setters. They just what I call the insta toss. Well, maybe not insta toss, but I do like this insta toss. I got it from Jeremy from Color Up. Whenever the dice come to him, he just, like, as fast as they come, he just grabs them and throws them. You know, you better watch out. You know, like no late bets for him, because he's just going to grab them and throw them. And so whenever I'm on the right side, I started the insta toss. They would send me the dice, and I would grab them. Oh my gosh. I would grab them and I would just throw them. So boom, and just toss them down. So the thing about, for me on dice, I want them to roll around as little as possible. I want them to kind of land, hit the back wall, and stop. I don't want them to be like crazy going everywhere, you know? That's just for me. Now, as far as dice sets, there's many different dice sets that people use. I tend to use 3 of them, 3 different dice sets. So I'll show you the 3 that I use. I use what's called and if you've seen the channel, and I do have a video coming out pretty soon where I'm rolling the dice on a full-size craps table on a ship coming up. But I use the 1, 2, 3, 1. So this is how you would call a dice set: 1, 2, 3, 1. So I'd have it like this, I'd grab it like this, and I'd throw it like that. So that has the 3, it has the 10, it has the yo, and it has the 4. I'm always shooting for a 4, 10, or 3. And that yo, if you ever see me, I always do a yo. I maybe won't hedge the 7 a lot, but I will hedge the 11, mainly because it's on my dice set if I'm shooting. And I get a lot of 4s, and that's why I like to play the, you know, it's good to have a 4 or a 10. Then I'll change this set, by the way. All right, let's talk more about sets right after we announce this right here from Claude. Claude's in the house. He gave a super chat for $9.99. Give it a like, everyone. Give it a heart. And I like stick left 1 or 2. Set is 3-2, 5-3. Players buying in the middle of the roll should be off for the next. For their next port. Yeah, at the next port. How dare you buy in the middle of the roll? When the puck is on, you should never buy in. Oh my goodness. That's for sure right there, Claude. Claude is, we can make sure they are not, I'm just playing, not welcome at the craps table anymore. I feel like I'm missing some of these. Let's see. Oh my gosh, there's a lot. I missed a bunch. Okay, so most common strat is the 3-point dolly or a continuous DC. Yeah, that's your most common, okay. And then let's see. Video craps, blackjack, and roulette earn the same points as video poker, which is a half the amount of slots. Yeah, slots is 1 point for every $5. And any video craps or not video craps, but video poker or video blackjack, or like, I think they have Keno on that video, it's $10 for 1 point. So the thing I like about, and I'll get back to the dice set in just a second, but the thing I like about the craps table is you put your money out and your money stays there until it loses. Every other game in the casino, you put your money out and you get one outcome, and then you have to bet again. You know what I mean? You get one outcome, you have to bet again. You have to bet over and over and over. So at slots, you know, you think $5 for every 1 point and 1,500 points to get a cruise, that's $7,500. $7,500. Now you might say, well, I don't have to bring $7,500 because I win a little bit at slots. So I always say at slots, it's about $1 per point. It costs you $1 per point. And I always recommend, going back to that earlier question about what kind of bankroll should you bring, I always recommend to bring the amount of dollars as the amount of points that you want. So if you want to get 2,500 points, bring $2,500. And most people, even on slots, will pay $2,500 to get 2,500 points. And they're fine with that. I'm not fine with that at craps. I've done my last cruise, I had $700 and I made 4,000 points. So And I know people that have done this as well. Those in the community, the partners of mine that have did it as well. There was one girl that was talking recently where she's like, "Wow, I got my 2,500 points, but it cost me $3,500." And a lot of slot players, they have it in their mind that they know they're going to buy points, and so they're like, "I would love to buy points for $1 a point, but it might cost me more or less." But that's a good starter. But then think about it. If you want 2,500 points and you're going to play video poker or video Keno or whatever the other ones with the $10, you need $5,000 for that. Oh my goodness, I wouldn't be able to do it. But anyway, and never play roulette with 000. Okay, number one rule with roulette: never play 000 roulette. Okay, that's if you play 000 roulette, that's worse than buying in when the puck is on at the craps table. That's all I'm saying. But there's no other tables open. Then you don't play roulette. That's all I'm saying. What's cool about Royal Caribbean when it comes to roulette, they have a lot of roulette that's $10 minimum, and it's single zero. I've seen it $5 and single zero, but man, it's one of those things. Okay, so rating correctly with Light in the Darkness. Stevens asks if they're still rating correctly on Royal Caribbean, referring to that email that the roulette players demanding their rating. Yeah, so I went on the cruise after that, and I was rated properly on the Navigator of the Seas, Navigator of the Seas, plural. But it should be Navigator of the Sea because it only stays out of LA. It only stays right there in the Pacific. So it's not the seas, it's just Navigator of the Sea, just that one right there. Other ships go other places, but anyway, I digress. Of course, you'd be like, Brian, you should call this Q&A digression. All right, so let's see. Are you still able to play Light in the Darkness? Yes, I am, and I do. Worked for me in June. Yes, it did, Tyson. Yes, it did. And it worked for me as well in June. And so remember, this all came out in April. And I said in April, I don't think it's going to stick. And so far, I think it's only stuck on the Oasis. And I said, well, no more Oasis for me, if that's the case. And so one of our members, partners, partner with J-Line, but also a member with the channel here, actually said you could look up the person that is in charge of the casino and see when they're supposed to leave, and then go back on the Oasis and see if things change. But we haven't seen it go all over the place. All right. So Paul says, my preferred position is right by the dealer and the don't come, since I play that more often. Yeah. So I'm still stick left one. And when I play the DC, I throw it in over there. I throw it in and I just say DC for 50 or whatever I put out. And the dealer sets it for me. But I shouldn't make it so obvious. I should be over there on the side where I could just reach it, because it is a self-serve bet. But I throw it in like it's not, like it's not a self-serve bet. Yeah, and that way you can manage your chips all right there at the end of the table. So, going on the Wonder in August. Yeah, Stoney's going on the Wonder in August. Yeah, I'm going to be on the Wonder very soon. So you'll be seeing some videos about that, and I will report and I always give a latest report as far as that kind of stuff in the Holy Roller Cruising Club on Facebook. If you're on Facebook, join the Holy Roller Cruising Club group. There's almost 500 people in there, and we talk all that kind of stuff. And so it's like baseball throwing a pitch to home. The better to throw the pitch from the mound or second base. Ooh, Jax just broke it down. So when it comes to throwing dice, where do you want to throw them from? Shorter, throw it from the pitcher's base, or throw it from all the way from second base. So the end of the table is second base. I'm not a baseball guy, but I understand that analogy. The end of the table is throwing home from second base, and the stick left 1 or 2 or stick right 1 or 2 is throwing from the pitching mound to home. I like that because both dice must hit the back wall, right? Must hit the back wall. No go, Ryan says on Oasis for Light in the Darkness. Yeah, too bad. Tell Peter I said I'm not coming back. All right, he's one of the casino managers. All right. Let's see. Wonder rated property last month. That's good because I'm on the Wonder next. Come on, somebody. And if you aren't a channel member and you become a channel member, you'll have all the dates of when we're going to be on cruising. And some people know because when you go to holyroller.com, you know that we're giving away a cruise. We'll be on that cruise on September 30th. We're going to be on the Mariner, so everybody in the world knows that one. But you know, if you want to plan more ahead, I have dates that I'm getting ready to release for my channel members all the way through April of next year, okay? So we're booked all the way through April. Let's get back to this, and then we'll jump in with some more stuff, okay? More questions, okay? So I talked about 3 dice sets that I do, and I talked about the first one, okay? And I forget what did Paul, or who was it? It was, okay, Claude. Okay, so I'll show you Claude's. Claude says at Cowboy Valley and Timberline Junction Model Railroad, he says his is 3253. So it's 3-2, right? 3-2, 5-3. So this is his set, and that's how he would throw it. So 3-2, 5-3. It has an 8, a 5, and I just happen to know that it has a 6 and a 9. So the reason why you know that is because the sister number is always on the opposite side. So the 9, 5, and 8 is 6, and then 4 is always 10. Okay, so 10. So that is, and I'm betting to say, I would probably bet to say the reason why Claude likes that dice set is because it's all the inside box. It's the inside numbers. There's 14 ways of the dice, right? No, sorry, 18 ways of the dice. That's half the combinations are a 5, 6, 8, and 9. Half the combinations, 18 ways of the dice. So that's why a lot of people just bet inside. All right, so that's Claude's. Let me tell you about my second one. So my first one is this one. I told you the 1, 2, 3, 1. My second one is I start here and I tip this to the side, and then I tip this to the side. That's the hard way set. I don't throw the hard way set. I turn this one and I make it a 4-2, 4-6, and I throw with the hard 8 at the top. A lot of times people will call this the 3V set. The bottom would be a 3V set, which would be a 3-1, or sorry, 3-5, 3-1. But for me, I throw it 4-2, 4-6, okay? And then the other one that I would do is the 4-5, 5-4, which is a 9, pretty much 9-5 set. So it's 9, 9, and 5 and 5. Those are my 3 sets. Those are mine. All right, let's get back to it. Hey, what's up? Jeff's in the house from Mid-Atlantic Craps. Man, I haven't been over there in a while. Oh, man, I've been so busy, but good to see you, Jeff. I'm afraid to cruise with you, Brian. Worried about the tables being packed. You know, it just depends. It just depends. Sometimes the tables are packed around 10. Like the high traffic time is 10 p.m. to midnight. Okay, 10 p.m. to midnight is high traffic time. That's why I like to get there around 8 o'clock. I have my spot. It doesn't matter. And most people that get there around 8 o'clock, if they stay until midnight, that's 4-hour session, they don't have any problem getting on the table. It's those that come at like 10 o'clock. And so haven't done much live streams. Oh, you haven't? Well, I haven't missed much then, I guess. But I always enjoy your live shows, Jeff, at Mid-Atlantic Craps. If you're here watching and you haven't subscribed to Mid-Atlantic Craps, make sure to do that, because Jeff over at Mid-Atlantic Craps does some awesome stuff, including where you could play along and bet along with Crapsy and win prizes. I love what he does over there. I need to get there more. I need to get there more so I can win more prizes. All right, 000. Okay, I'm not even gonna read the 000 roulette players will hurt themselves. Never mind. Okay, so let's see. All right, so let's get back to this one. Okay, let's get back to this one. I'm trying to stay up to date. Just trying to stay up. Okay, so we talked about what the best dice set and position. All right, and okay, is it better to mix the table game up to get better advantage for cruise points? I'm assuming you're saying play different strategies. What I do, I often will stick with a strategy for 10 sevens. Now, most people are like, stupid, don't do that. Because if something's not working and you're gonna do it 10 times in a row, well, now keep in mind, I try a hedging strategy for 10 sevens, and if it's not working in the middle, it has to be really bad for me. I have to lose 50% of my bankroll for me to switch in the middle. Rarely does that ever happen. Rarely does it ever happen that I lose 50% of my bankroll within 10 rolls, okay? Rarely. So I usually stick it out for 10 rolls, and because I do bet consistently for 10 rolls, I end up usually even or plus after 10 rolls. Then I choose whether I want to up my average. So example, if I have $100 per shooter or $1,000, I'll go 10 rolls, but I'll switch if I get down to $500. If after 10 rolls I have $1,200, then I'm dividing 1,200 by 10 and I'm doing another 10 shooters or another 10 sevens. I think that's the difference between the way I play and the way other people might play. They might play 10 shooters. I play 10 sevens because some person can have 3 of them on a come out, and that would really kill my bankroll, especially if I'm not hedging. But again, remember, I wouldn't be there for 3 come out sevens. I'd be going Batman Vigilante through the DC Comics. Because it's getting dark, it's getting dark. If there's 3, even though I'm on the dark side, it could get even darker if there's a lot of come out 7s and 11s. All right, so I would say for 1 hour or 10 sevens or 10 shooters, try to stay consistent with your betting so that you have the same average bet. Now, if you want to change up the system you're doing but use the same amount of money, go ahead, try that. But I would always make sure so that you can accurately see if you're getting the right amount of points. Because if you have $50 per shooter, after 1 hour, you should have 50 points or more. And so if you're fluctuating, like going from 50 to 25 and all that, and so whenever I do my scaling and I start at $50, I'm expecting $50 or 50 points for that hour. But because I scale up, I get more points than 50 for that hour. Hope that makes sense. The likelihood, Jeff says the likelihood of losing in 10 shooters is very, not going to happen that much. Maybe half the time. So if you win half the time, lose half the time, you'll be broken even. Instead of just broken or broke. All right, here we go. Let's see. We got another question here. Which is the better sucker bet to play? All tall, small, easy ways, horn bets, etc. All right, so all the center box stuff you would call sucker bets. They call them sucker bets. I don't think there's any sucker bet if you're using the casino money. If you're using the casino money, there's no such thing as a sucker bet because joke's on them. You're using their money for the highest payouts. You know what I'm saying? So that's why whenever I'm in the field, if I'm doing like an iron cross or something and I'm winning on every roll, and I have the field bet and horn number rolls, and I win $10, I automatically take that $10 and I'm like, that's a free bet on the horn high yo. And I just bet, and I call that system running with the bulls. See a horn, bet a horn. 2 horns, you're looking for 2 horns, you're running with the bulls. You know what I'm saying? 2 horns in a row. I make a lot of money with that, but I use the casino money for that bet, you know? So what's the best, which is the better sucker bet? I don't know. I would say this on a sucker bet. Are you ready for this? This is gonna surprise everyone. I think the biggest sucker bet is the all tall small at anything less than $5. Okay, guaranteed. And you might say, what do you mean? If I do 5-5-5 or $5 each, that's $15. That's a $15 sucker bet. I might as well do a 2-1-2 and only do a $5 sucker bet. No, a $5, 2-1-2 on the all tall small is a sucker bet because you're only going to win $30, maybe $150. You want to get if you're going to roll all the numbers, you can make $150 just by betting the box numbers, okay? So it's only a sucker bet if you're not out there big, you know? So 5-5-5 is the minimum I think you should do on the all tall small, because 5 times 150, that is impactful. It's more than just $150. You know what I'm saying? Like, or whatever it turns out to be. If it's like 2-1-2, I think it would be like, what is that? $250 or something, maybe $300. You could have made $300 with them rolling the all tall. You know what I mean? Like if you were betting. So anyway, I would love to actually just max out the ATS and then try to win that money first. So max it out. If it's $75, if it's $25, if that's the max, and there's $75 out there, I'm trying to win $75 and put it back in my bankroll first. Then I'll play more, right? And then if that hits, it actually makes sense. It would be worth it at that point. So I think probably one roll bets are sucker bets, but I'm gonna change it up from what people think, because like I said, if it's the casino money, it's not really a sucker bet. And I would say the all tall small for less than $5 is the biggest sucker bet on the table. How about that? And I've done it before, but I feel like a sucker. You know what I'm saying? Because when it hit, I only won like what, $35, $60 or something. And I won a lot more on the way to that 60. It didn't even really make sense. It didn't really feel it. That's all I'm saying. All right. I hope that answered that question. Joe from Craftsmaster Journey has this question right here. He says, toughest question. Honey, what do I look like in this? LOL. I think we've all heard that question. Those of us that have girlfriends that are married, or maybe we ask our wives, honey, how do I look in this? All right. Is there advantage to play craps with a syndicate team at one table? Okay, yeah, maybe. Always see Hawaiian Craps reserve table with regular profits. Okay, so I don't know if you're talking about, this is what I'm assuming you're talking about, and this is what I would say, yes, there is a benefit. I'm assuming that you're talking about how people play together. For example, if someone is shooting and they're the shooter, they will have a friend stand at the end where the dice land, and that friend will not put a pass line with odds there to keep that area open for their dice to land. I've seen that. That is what's called a blocker. You know, so you have a blocker, and so you have somebody blocking for you, and they're in that spot, so you know you can throw, and it's not going to be chaos at the end of the table. The other thing is you send that person over there to make sure people aren't betting, doing late bets, or betting when the dice are out, or buying in when the puck is on. It's kind of like a referee of that side. If you're on one side and your teammate plays on the other side and kind of keeps that in control over there so that you could stay focused, and then you do the same thing when they shoot. Although if you're shooting from stick left, I think this is what I think about, and I've said this in a video before, but if you are on the corner or on the ends of a table and the dice are coming your way, you should not be playing pass line with odds, because it's just bad etiquette. And it's like pass line and odds, or pass line bets, are a benefit for the shooter anyway. You don't have to bet the pass line with odds unless you're shooting. And remember, we're talking about on a cruise that only has single odds. So your $20 pass line with odds gets paid more if you just bet the box number instead of putting your chips where the dice are landing, you know? Keep the runway clear. That's all I'm saying. All right. So sorry, that one kind of got me a little bit, but yeah, there is an advantage of playing. So the other advantage is this. You're playing with people that you know and that know how to shoot. One of the worst things that that happens on a cruise ship, and probably why I came up with this whole hybrid system, is because there's rarely long rolls in my experience. I mean, I'll have a long roll. I know Amber will have a long roll. When Jeremy went, he had a long roll. Most people that play regularly have long rolls because they have the experience of rolling. Now you might say, no, it's all random. It doesn't matter if the dice are random. I'm just saying they understand the flow of the game. They understand the dice. They understand how they go. And sometimes on cruise ships, you have these people, they grab the dice and they throw them like 5 or 6 times. And all of them are no rolls because it even went off the table, didn't hit the back wall, hit the dealer. They're like, watch your hands and your eyes because they don't know how to throw the dice. So anyway, that's what I'm saying with people that have experience rolling dice, is they can move faster, they can roll them, they can get calls when it's actually a roll. And so you can make more money quite quicker. As far as how many times sevens come, I mean, they're going to come on average. There's a 1 of 6 chance that it's going to come every single roll. So it just depends on that. But I think playing with a team is much better. I loved playing at DiceCon with people that we knew versus people that, well, on a cruise, there's people that are still learning. Like, hey, what's this game? I have $1,000 to lose. What's this game? You know, and they lose it in 20 minutes and they're gone. And then we can get on with the game. You know what I'm saying? All right. So yes, there is an advantage. I hope that answered that question. Should Craps players buy stock share in the cruise line and take advantage of the onboard credit? Yes, I've had 100 shares of Royal Caribbean, and I was, you know, I read the fine print. Obviously, I know I don't get the free play because when you get a comped cruise, or sorry, not free play, but the onboard credit, when you get a comped cruise, you can't apply the shareholder benefits at the same time. So, made a lot of money with the 100 shares of Royal Caribbean, and it paid for a lot of my cruises, you know, tax and port fees and stuff, but it definitely didn't pay when it comes to getting comped cruises, because I wasn't able to get the benefits, the shareholder benefits at the same time. So I would say no, because shareholder benefits, you know, you figure you're getting $250 for every cruise. I was going to use it for like pretty much $250 once a month for cruising, and that, you know, $10,000 investment was going to be paying me $250 a month. That's like a great ETF, you know what I mean? $250 a month just on onboard credit, but I was going to use it like an ETF, and didn't have any shareholder benefits. So oh well, just so you know. So just so you know, how many rolls would you do before pulling down everything, knowing that Big Red will eventually come? I like to pull down after a long roll, maybe after 15. When is a good time? Maybe after 5 rolls. When's a good time to pull down? This is what I say about pulling down. Okay, pulling down versus getting out of the hand. Okay, number 1, get out of the hand as quick and with as few rolls as possible, with the risk tolerance that you're willing to do. Some people put out, like, you know, 340 and get 1 hit and then take the profit and play with that. But they're risking 340, right? And they get out with 1 hand, you know. Some people, they have two hits, you know, where they, you know, like the 66 or the, you know, squeeze play, or the skill 66. You put in 66 inside on a $10 table. You go to the $15 level. you get one hit, you press the inside, you get the second hit, and then you go down to 44 inside, completely paid for. You know, so 2 hits and you're out of the hand. That's the big thing. Get out of the hand as fast as possible when it comes to playing craps. As far as pulling down or regressing or, you know, turning your bets off after a certain amount of rolls, I never do that. I get my money out of the hand, and then I'm playing with their money, and then I'm trying to get it as high as possible so that I can collect black chips on every roll. And maybe I should collect more, but for me, I'm content with getting up to, you know, $50 on the 4 and 10, 75 on the 5 and 9, and 90 on the 6 and 8, and I know I'm getting $100 per hit. And then I would love to get 10 hits, you know, and I probably should just keep, you know, take a little bit and just bump it up all the time, and then I'd probably make a lot more money. And on a long roll, I could probably get to table max. So I've done table max before. On Royal Caribbean, the table max is only $500. So I played at table max before, but I didn't get a bunch of hits. I just got like, I think 2 hits, and then I was out, and I was like, you know. I mean, when I say table max, not table max all the way across. I had a table max on one number, and then it was towering. I was towering the 8, and I got the table max. Okay, let's just say that. And it hit, which was great. All right, so anyway, you'll have to watch that video, the towering 8, if you want to know what that video or that system is all about. I didn't record the actual session that I won. I think I talked about it though. All right, so let's see. All right, here goes another one, which is the best table game of chance to play for points for free cruise. Roulette, craps, blackjack, poker. Now, you're trying to get me in trouble with the controversial, a controversial question, because everybody will say something different. Of course, I would say craps, and I'm going to tell you why I would say craps, and I will tell you why I think that I'm right. Because every other game, and I said this before, but every other game, you get one bet and one outcome. You know, you put down your money, and they give you one spin at roulette, right? And then the outcome, and then you either win or lose, and then you have to put out your money again. Same thing with blackjack. You put out your money, they give you a set, you hit, stay, stand, whatever, pass, whatever, somebody busts, and it's one outcome for that money that you put down. When you are at the craps table on a cruise, trying to get points for a free cruise, you put your money out and it stays there until it loses. That means you're getting points longer than at all these other games, okay? And you might know this, but comp value is different though. But like, say you're at a blackjack with like 6 decks, and you're at a blackjack with 1 deck. The one that has the lower casino edge, the lower house edge, you're gonna get less points. The higher the house edge, the more points you get, okay? So, for example, if you have a better chance of winning, you get little points. If you have a big chance of winning, you hardly get any points. And so that's why they don't even give any comps on odds when you're playing craps, because it's 0 house edge, so they're not giving you any comps on odds. And that's why I say never play odds on a cruise. Hope that answered that question. And can you reserve a table on a cruise? If so, which cruise line? No, I haven't seen it. I've seen other people where they bring a bunch of people and they just get there really early, so it seems like it's reserved. And that's what I think Tyson was talking about earlier. I'm afraid to get on a cruise with you, Brian, because the craps table will be packed. If you get there early, and I mean sometimes 30 to 15 minutes early before they open the table, then you will be at the table no matter what. And so it will be a reserved table for everybody that gets there early. How about that? But I would say no. A lot of craps tables a lot of cruise either have 1 or 2 craps tables, so no. One's in the smoking, one's in the non-smoking, and then if they only have 1, it's kind of like non-smoking, but it's still in the smoking area most of the time. All right. Did you reserve a future cruise on your last cruise? Yes, I did. I always reserve a future cruise meaning a $200 deposit before you leave the cruise, because that's what gives you the booking bonus, which is the free play. So a lot of times I'm getting $500 of free play. So giving $200 to get 5 seems like a good deal. So that's why I do it. What's the meaning of life? And and when do you change strategy during the course of a session? We kind of talked about that. Mike, what is the meaning of life? The meaning of life, I would say, is to know the Lord and make him known. And I'm talking about Jesus Christ, the Lord, our Lord and Savior, at least my Lord and Savior. That's the meaning of life. Know him and make him known. All right. So let's see. Ron says, how many free cruises are enough? Amber actually asked me this question too. That's funny. All right, Amber actually asked me that question too, Ron. How many free cruises are enough? And Ron, if you're watching, which you probably aren't because you're over the other side of the pond out of Hampton, Southampton, on some cruise, making me jealous right now. But you would probably say the same thing. Never enough. How many cruises are enough? There's never enough, especially when it's less expensive to be on a cruise than at home. You know what I'm saying? Oh my goodness. I could go in detail with that, but I'll just say that. All right, craps, slots, craps table game. Craps slots. Oh, forget craps slots. Although Amber loves this hot roll game that if the bonus comes, you have to roll dice and it's all digital. She loves that, but I would say craps table game for sure. That's for sure. So how far would you travel to play craps? What's the furthest you traveled from where to where? For me, Vegas is where I've played craps for years, Vegas and cruise lines. So, I mean, if you want to count how far I've been, I've been far over. I haven't went over into any other continents other than in the Bahamas and, South America. But, I've been to Jamaica playing craps, but that was on a cruise, But as far as playing craps, I played craps anywhere between here, Colorado, and Vegas. So that includes Colorado. That includes like Wendover. But Wendover is crazy. They don't allow you to set dice there. And it's crazy over there. I don't want to play there anymore. But anyway, is it fun to go with a cruise group organized YouTuber playing craps? I find it really fun when I play with people that I know people and I'm getting to know people. And that's why we're giving away that cruise. We're giving away a cruise so that somebody for $50 could go on a cruise with us. I'm going to show them how to get a free cruise while we're there. Hopefully they bring a bankroll, of at least $1,000 so we can get a free cruise worth $4,000. You know what I'm saying? And if you lose it all, you're still going to get a great price, but don't lose the $1,000. That's the plan. All right. I think it's fun. All right. How long would you play? How long should one play at the table to win a free cruise? It really depends on your average bet. So you determine what your average bet is. If you're going to do say $100 average bet, that is 100 points per hour. You have to play 12 hours. That's like 2 hours a night on a 6-night cruise, So if you have more money and you want to go up, then you can play less hours. But I find that 4 hours is like, I've been playing for at least 4 hours whenever I play. Even when I went to Vegas, I played for at least 4 hours whenever I play. And that's just because I play a way that I could stay there and kind of like win slow, lose slow, but kind of be there for longer. But I don't really play in Vegas for comps anyway. But on a cruise, you definitely want to play longer or at least get the points. Don't check in and check out. If you have to use the restroom, don't check out and then come back. Just leave your money there. Tell them I'll be right back. Go restroom, come back. Go get a drink, come back. But don't check out because it screws up your whole average bet. Okay, so that's a whole nother thing. Is it favorable to not roll the dice as a shooter to win a cruise? No. just roll the dice. When I roll the dice, I'll roll from the don't. I see a lot of don't players. They'll play the don't the whole time, and then when they roll the dice, they'll go the pass line. It's like, if you want to guarantee, this is what I always say, if you want to guarantee to hit your point when you're rolling the dice, shoot from the don't. that's just my thing. Okay, question: name your top 3 favorite craps YouTubers. Oh my gosh! All right, top 3. Oh man, this one's getting me more in trouble. Probably, man. There's so many good YouTubers out there. I would have to go with people that I have a relationship with, because I know a lot of people, but I would probably go craps YouTubers. Number 1, I would probably say Jeremy from Color Up. Number 2, I'd say John from Pro Craps. And then number 3, I'd probably say Jeff from Mid-Atlantic Craps. But don't forget that there's Joe from Craftsmaster Journey. There's Ryan from Mark the Point. There's Brian from Hawaiian Craft Shooters. I mean, they're Hawaii Craft Shooters. I mean, there's so many. I mean, David from Casino Quest. I mean, there's so many. Come on. Don't put me in that position. Who said that? JJ, how dare you? How dare you? All right, we're down to the last 2 questions, and then I'm going to look at these right here, and then we'll be done. But how dare you with that question, JJ? All right. Which country of the world has the most craps players? Is craps a game of chance, or can it be controlled? Oh, man. Are players superstitious? No, not at craps. Come on. Is it better to play sober or intoxicated? Yeah, do not drink. Always play sober. Always play craps sober. Not even buzzed. Don't even play craps buzzed. Anything that would lapse your judgment in craps, the game moves too fast. You can't do it. Don't do it, I would say. As far as a game of chance, people would say craps is rolling the dice is a game of chance, but I think it's all how you bet. And I think the way you bet can give you an advantage. A lot of times people like to talk about controlling the dice to give you an advantage. It's all about the way you bet, because I'm actually a believer that the dice can be influenced. Okay, and controlled, meaning can I set this 9 and roll a 9? Like I have done that before, where I've actually set it at a table where I go, okay, we need a 9. I'm gonna set it to a 9. Now let's roll a 9, and then a 9 hit. And everybody was like, oh my gosh, this guy's a dice controller. No, that just happened to happen. Or many times I'll have my 4 working and there's nothing else working. I'm like, hey, give me a $25 4 working. And then I throw it and it hits a 4 and I get paid. And everybody's like, oh my gosh, give me a 4 when that guy rolls, or whatever. This is why I have those dice sets and I go and I practice at the table, because sometimes you'll do a dice set and you'll roll it over and over, and it seems like, I'm just saying confirmation bias here, it seems like a certain number's hitting, but I could take that same set of dice and the same set and I can throw it on a different table and that number would never show up again. It would be different numbers. So the idea is finding out which numbers are rolling, and sometimes it doesn't even have to do with the person that's throwing the dice. It just happens to do that number seems to be hitting over and over. And when that happens, just bet it. Don't wait for the 5th or 6th time to start betting it. Just bet it when you notice it. If it's enough for you to notice, whoa, that 6 has hit a lot, just bet the 6. That's all I'm saying. But that could get me in trouble too. Who said that? How many craps players? I don't know, man, how many craps players there are in the world. I wish there were more, because I wish there was. Let me say it like this. When you say craps players, what are you talking about? People that play craps or craps players? Because I'm talking about craps players, not people that play craps. Because there's enough people that play craps. There's too many people that play craps. I want some more craps players when I'm at the table. You know what I'm saying? Oh my goodness. So that was getting me going too. All right. Why do bearded craps players take so long to set the dice? Is that a shot? Is that a shot at me? Daryl, is that a shot at me? Why? I don't take long to set the dice. In fact, I would say anybody that is setting the dice, come on, man. come on, set the dice and throw them. What is all this? What is all this stretching and rubbing your hand and walking back and forth and telling them to bring the dice, and then you set them and then you walk away and then you set them again? It's like, just set them and throw the dice. I would say if it takes 10 seconds, it's taking too long, okay? Here we go. 1001, 1002, 1003, 1004, 1005, 1006. I mean, this is taking too long. Set the dice and throw them. And that's why everybody should know the opposite side of the dice always equals 7. So if you want to know where the 1 is and you see the 6, you know it's on the other side. The 3 is the 4 and the 5 is the 2. You know what I'm saying? Like, just know the dice. Have some dice IQ and some etiquette, if you would, and throw the dice and stop taking so long. And I don't know why, maybe they have to go like this. Let me set the dice. All right, let's check some of these. And I'm gonna pick one of these people in his chat to get a dice tracker. You're gonna have to email me at brian@holyroller.com with your address and say, hey, I won. I'll know if it's you. Don't everybody email me and say you won. I won't fall for that, because I'm writing this person down right now and I'm waiting for an email from them and them only when it comes to getting a free dice tracker. A free dice tracker. All right, so going back at some of these, let me see. Oh man, what was the one that really got me going? The one that I could not the one that really, oh man, there was one that really got me. Oh my goodness. I guess, I don't know, but anyway, let's see who's here, and let's see. Let's read some of these. Gary has 7 free cruises booked. I have 10 currently, and more on the way, because I've just talked with Amber and we released 3 more okays, I think. Well, she's not. I think 3 more. I hope she's not watching. Amber, are you watching? All right, so let's see. Enjoyed watching you play color up videos yesterday. Oh yeah, that was funny. I just happened to be at the table and the camera happened to be right next to me, and I was playing the light in the darkness. That's the only way I could stay at the table sometimes, man. There was some short rolls in that. And I didn't work the dealers so hard. If you noticed, there's some people working the dealers. I say that. Whoa. Oh yeah, Waylon. I forgot about Waylon when I was talking about craps players. Waylon, yeah, don't forget about Waylon. Waylon's Way Craps. Let's see. My favorite way to play is to get there early or late when I'm the only one at the table. Come on, Paul. And then play the DP continuously, just waiting for the 7, cheering for the 7. Yeah, 7. Yeah, I guess if everybody else is there and you're still cheering for the 7, yeah. That would be probably not some good players etiquette. All right, so let's see who we got as a winner here. We're gonna have to go with the Gouch. The Gouch 69 is the winner of the dice tracker. For all of you that have been waiting, but there was several questions, but man, one of them just got me too hard, too bad, made me angry pretty much. And because I'm so angry, you win a dice tracker. So if you haven't been to holyroller.com, make sure to go over there and get yourself a dice tracker. I don't have it with me right now, but I do have a video on there. Oh no, I took that off to talk about the free cruise. So that one is no longer there. That dice tracker video is no longer there, but the free cruise is there, and you can enter to win a free cruise. Also, get yourself some merch if you haven't already. Support the channel that way, would be awesome. And become a channel member if you're not. If you're not a channel member, $2.99 a month. One thing, I have a video coming out tomorrow. I'm giving the perk of knowing where we're going, our future cruises, all the cruises. That's usually at the higher level of membership, but I'm giving that to all members if you join this month. So join this month and you get all the members, and I have a video coming out probably tonight that's talking about our next 3 cruises that we'll be on. Paul has 12 cruises for 20 weeks from now till April 2025. Okay, is this a contest, Paul? How come I don't see you, Paul? We're gonna have to connect, Paul. We're gonna have to see you on a cruise, you know, and that's what I like to say. If there's no more questions, I'm gonna go ahead and end this. Only 3 likes? Come on, Steven said there's only 3 likes. Somebody exit out of the chat just so that you can hit the like button and then come back to the chat. Let me know if there's any questions because I'm gonna end this video pretty quick right now. But oh, and well, who was it that won? Whoever won, you gotta email me at brian@holyroller.com, B-R-I-A-N, right? brian@holyroller.com, and that's holyroller.com with just the R at the end, not the E-R, holy roll, R. Like pirates. No, not really, but that's funny. Because we're on ships, never mind. All right, bye friends. 16 on YouTube. Oh my goodness. Go over to the Facebook group and become part of the Facebook group there, Holy Roller Cruising Club, will ya? And I hope to see you cruising and rolling on a craps table soon. See ya.